Hello everyone, this is Sudipta from Technical Potpourri and welcome to my new video. So in today's video, I'm going to cover identity and access management in Google Cloud. This is a very important topic that you should understand. So I highly recommend you to watch the entire video and provide your feedback at the end of this video. I have a dedicated YouTube playlist where I'm keep on publishing contents about Google Cloud. I'll put the link in the description of this video. So please check this out, share, and please subscribe to my channel. So without any further delay, let's jump in and understand identity and access management in Google Cloud. So let's start with the basic of identity and access management. The first question that comes to our mind while dealing with identity, who can do what on which resources? Now this is the statement that you can see on the screen, who can do what on which resources. And the important part is who, what, and which. So in Google Cloud, who can be a Google account, it can be a Google group, it can be a service account, it can be a cloud identity. What is basically a different type of IAM roles. We have three different types of role: basic, predefined, and custom, and I'm going to cover that very shortly in this video. And which is what are the different resources on which we can take action. For example, compute engine, Kubernetes cluster, cloud storage, resource hierarchy. These are all the resources. So this is very important thing to understand, who can do what on which resources. And that's why I specifically mark these three keywords: who, what, and which. With that, how you want to give permission to access a resource. So on the right side of the screen, you can see multiple people faces, right? So these are basically the people, and I want to give these people access so that they can go and do something with different type of resources in Google Cloud. How can I do that? Can I give them direct permission? No. In Google Cloud, you're not supposed to give direct permission to individuals to access the different resources. Rather, what you should do, you should group different permissions into roles and provide that role to the individual principals or members. So what I'm trying to tell you is that instead of giving individual permissions to different people, you combine multiple permissions into a role and then add that role or provide that role to the individual so that they can do actions on those resources based on what permission you provide in that role. So understand, in Google Cloud, we never provide direct permission to individuals. Rather, we group permissions into role and provide role to the individuals. So in IAM, in Google Cloud, we have three different types of role. One is the basic role, one is predefined role, and one is the custom role. Let's talk about the basic role. So basic roles are basically quite broad in scope, and when it's applied to a Google Cloud project, it actually impacts all the resources in the project. This role are having three different types. One is the owner, editor, and viewer, which is very easily understandable. Owner means they can do whatever they want on the resources. Editor means they can edit, and viewers means it's a read-only type of permission. They can read or they can use, but they cannot change. Editor means they can change, and owner means basically they are the superpower. One thing that you need to understand while dealing with the IAM roles is never grant a basic IAM role in production unless, this is very important, it is thoroughly reviewed within your team, within the experts, and there is literally no alternatives. When I'm talking about the alternatives, it means like there is no way that you can provide the permission through a predefined role or custom role. Then only give the basic IAM role. But again, thoroughly review that with your team, with the experts, and make sure there is no alternative. And always grant the most limited predefined or custom roles based on the need. So basically what I'm trying to tell here is that always think first with the custom role or predefined role and give the least privilege permission. Don't give the broader permission. Give only the permission a particular person need to do their job. This is a very basic principle. This is called the least privilege principle. Always give the least privilege, least permission that person needs to do their job. So that's why basic IAM role is quite broad. Giving the basic IAM role is basically opening the door quite open and they can do whatever they want, which we don't want. We want to give the least permission, and that's why always try to go with the custom role or predefined role. If that is not possible, then only come to the IAM role. Good. With that, let's move to the predefined role. Predefined roles are basically some roles which comes through Google resources. So some Google resources, they have their own roles, and they also define this role can be applied at which level. It's not you can get a role which can be applied at many levels. So Google Cloud resources, individual resources, they come with their predefined roles, and they also define at which level on the resource hierarchy you can apply this role. Talking about resource hierarchy, this is also another important topic that you should understand. I have a dedicated video where I've explained the resource hierarchy in Google Cloud. If you haven't checked that out, please check that out. I'll provide the link at the top right corner of this video and also in the description of this video. Okay, with that, and very shortly, I'll show you how you can find the predefined role in Google Cloud Console. So just hold for a minute. Let me explain the different types of. So far I have covered the basic role, I have covered the predefined role. Now let's cover the custom role. Custom role is when you have predefined roles, but that is not helpful. You want to create your type of roles. You want to club multiple permissions into a role and provide that role to an individual or a resources, right? In that cases, you should create your own custom role. Custom roles can only be, this is very important topic, and if you're going for a certifications, then this is something that you should understand and remember, that custom roles can only be applied at the project or organization level. It cannot be applied at the folder level or subfolder level. And as you understand, like these custom roles are created by you. So you need to define and you need to manage the custom role. Google Cloud is not responsible to manage your custom roles. Now, as I said, custom roles can be applied at the organization level or at the project level. To add that at the organization level, the permission that you need is the organization role administrator. For the project level, to apply that role at the project level, you need the permission of role administrator. This is something that also you need to understand. And there are some limits that you can create 300 custom roles per organization, and you can create 300 custom roles per project. And these are the hard limits. So these limits cannot be increased. This is also something that you need to understand if you're going for a certification. Okay, so I have explained basic role, I have explained predefined role, I have explained the custom IAM role. So with that, it's time for a demo. Let's go and see this type of roles in Google Cloud. Excited? Let's jump in. Okay, so time for a demo. So here I am in my Google Cloud Console. I have two projects, and as you can see, I have my test project and the technical Potpourri. So today in this demo, I'll be dealing with the my test project, and that's why I've selected my test project. And as you can see, the tick sign. With that, to access IAM, what you need to do, you need to click here and go to the IAM section. So this is a page where it will show all the permissions for the project, my test project. If you remember, I was showing who can do what, right? Who is the principal? So that's me. What I can do, that is defined by my role, and these are the different type of permissions that I have. Now, as I was telling, we have different type of roles like the predefined roles and the custom roles. To access the predefined roles, what you need to do, you need to come a little below and click on this role section. This will tell all the roles that are available for this project. Here in the filter, click on type and choose predefined. That will show you all the predefined roles that are available. This is the way how you can find all the predefined roles. So what I want to do, I want to create a custom role. So for that, I'll come to this page and click on this create role, and let's give it a name. Now let's give it a name. Hello custom role. You can put the description. I'm just leaving this as it is right now. In the role launch stage, I'm making it general available. Now here, I was telling role is a collection of permissions, right? So here I'll add the permissions. So I'll click on add permissions, and here, let's say I'll choose admin and click on OK. These are all the permissions. So let's say I want to give the permission of create, I want to give the permission of get, list, and click on add. So now this is my custom role, hello custom role. This role is having these permissions, and then I can click on create. The moment I click on create, it will create the custom role. And as you can see, here is my custom role. But define a custom role doesn't make sense unless you add that custom role to a individual who can do what. Who is the individual or the name principal or the principal, right? So you need to add that role to that person. Here, I'm going to add this custom role to myself. I'll come back to this page. Here is my name. I'll click on this pencil and here I'll choose another role. And this time I'll choose the custom, and this is my custom role, hello custom role, and then save. The moment I do that, I have now the custom role, hello custom role. If I want to access that from the Google CLI, the command for that is gcloud projects get IAM policy, and then this one. This is basically the unique ID of the project. If you click here, this is the ID. You will not be able to give this name because this is something that you can change and it's not a unique value. This is rather a unique value. So you should always provide the ID. And once you do that and click enter, you see this is a member, which is me. I have this role, right? And also I have another role. This is my role, which is basically the custom role, as you can see here. And this is the role owner, which is basically the basic role, right? So this is the way how you can create custom role, how you can access your predefined role and add that to the different resources. With that, let's go back to the presentation and see the best practices of how you can handle these roles in Google Cloud. So now understand the best practices for managing the roles or identity and access management. Always remember the principle of least privilege. As I was telling before, always give only that permission which is necessary for them to perform their job. Don't give anyone extra permission. This is called the principle of least privilege, and this is very basic and very important. Use predefined role. Whenever possible, use predefined roles because these predefined roles are managed by Google Cloud. If it is not possible to handle with the predefined roles, then only go with the custom roles. But you need to remember, custom roles is defined by you, so it has to be managed by you. Regularly audit IAM roles and permissions. So it's very necessary that you have to have a process within your project or within your organization to regularly review these IAM roles and do an audit. Avoid basic rules. Again, very important because basic rule affects all the resources and it's quite open. So you should not be using basic rules. You should rather go with predefined or custom rules. And use service account for applications. Instead of individual users, service account should be used for application to application authentication. And what is service account? I'm going to cover a dedicated video on this service account. I'm not going to cover service account on this video because that's quite a big topic. So very soon I'll be publishing another video covering service accounts and how you can create that, what are the benefits and all these things. So keep your eyes open, subscribe to my channel so that you can get notification of all my upcoming videos. So with that, we have come to an end. I hope this video is helpful. Please hit the like icon, share and subscribe so that you come to know about all my upcoming videos. Till then, thank you. Bye bye. And again, don't forget to put your comments in the comment section of this video. Thank you. Bye bye.